Hey, this is Maria from hockeytrainingpro.com, and I'm following up on a conversation that I had with Thomas Magnusson at the Network Goaltending Symposium, and we were talking about the importance of neutral pelvis, and it was sort of a new idea to him, which was surprising to me because it's something we kind of work into a lot of our techniques, and when we correct technique, that's one of the big things that we look at in the gym. So I wanted to take you through a little progression of how to find neutral pelvis in lying and kneeling and standing, and then how to kind of use it in your exercises. Now, let's start with why is it important? Why? Because you probably aren't thinking, wow, do I ever need a neutral pelvis? You're probably thinking, you know, how do I do the splits? But if you're letting your pelvis tilt forward, which is what typically happens when you see hockey players and goalies that have that big kind of bubble butt, a lot of times that's actually not muscle. It's just they're sticking their bum out the back by tilting their pelvis. The problem with that is that it takes away the room for your hip to move. So really, if I kind of slump my shoulder forward, I can't get good range of motion, you know, to make a circle. If I am up nice with nice posture, then I have all kinds of room. For goalies, when you let your pelvis tip forward, the same type of thing happens when you try to bring your foot back up under you when you're in a butterfly position, for example. You're going to be jamming on the front side of your pelvis, which is going to limit your range of motion, and over time it could cause bony callus to build up there and create some real problems for your mobility. So, you know, I think of you guys like Formula One race cars. I wouldn't let any of you go out and drive around the track with a wheel that was a little bit out of alignment or steering that was out of alignment. I'd want to fix that right away so you can perform at the optimum level. So that's what this is all about. So it sounds like a little thing, but it's actually really, really huge. So how do you find neutral pelvis? Well, we'll start off in supine. And all I'm going to do is find my hip bones. So my hip bones on the front here, and then what's called my pubic symphysis. So that's that bony part of my pelvis that's right here. And so what I want to do is make those level. So make this and this all level. So I can tilt my pelvis to make this higher, to make this higher. I want to make them nice and level. And then I take a little snapshot of that. So, you know, how does it feel here in my abdominals? How much room do I have in my back? You'll see that I have enough to get my fingertips under, but not enough to stick my whole hand under there. A lot of you will be naturally here, so what you'll have to do is almost use your abdominals to pull that pelvis into a neutral alignment. So now let me show you how you can find it in standing. We found neutral pelvis in the supine position, which is great because it lets you just kind of see, oh, okay, that's where it is. That's what it should sort of feel like. But ideally, we're not really doing anything in supine position when you're in a game. So we need to find it in a standing position first. And so again, you can go back to your landmarks, so your hip bone and your pubic symphysis, and get those nice and level. You know, I naturally have a little bit of extension, so I tend to sit with my pelvis tilted a bit forward too, just like a lot of you do. So you see my hip bones are here, but my pubic symphysis sits back. So I have to remind myself a lot of the time to, what I think about is bringing my ribs towards my hips. Now that doesn't mean doing this, it means just pulling my pelvis underneath me a little bit and not letting my butt stick out the back. So that's one way that I can find it in standing. So, you know, working on finding that position, again, take a snapshot of what that feels like, because to you it's going to feel, you know, sort of weird, but then you know, okay, well, this is what it should look like. Even look at yourself in the mirror from the side and see that you just have a nice gentle arch in your low back. It's not supposed to be flat, but it should just have that gentle arch. Then we need to get you moving in that position. So if we grab a little dowel stick and set that along sort of the crack of your bum, your shoulder blades, and your head, and then find that neutral position. So use those abdominals a little bit to bring your ribs towards your hips. And then you're going to work on sort of hinging or almost coming into your ready position, but feeling how you're keeping that neutral spine. Because what I see a lot of the time too is that goalies get here and then they extend through what's called the thoracolumbar junction, where the lumbar spine and the thoracic spine meet. So they're letting their pelvis tilt backwards, closing down space to use their hips in the front, and then hyperextending through the thoracolumbar junction. So this creates a lot of problems. It's going to add wear and tear to your hips, wear and tear to your back, and it's just not a powerful position to be in. So we want you to hinge almost like you have that dowel stick on your back and find your good neutral ready position. So once we work on that, finding just that good neutral ready position, then we work on using it a little bit more dynamically, like I'll show you now. Here's just a really basic exercise to help you get that neutral pelvis dynamically, or keep it when you're doing dynamic movements. So it's in that ready position that we talked about. And then you're just going to do a nice lateral drive, boom, over, and then recheck. So if you do that lateral drive, and then again you're back into your old habit, extended back position, and you'll be able to feel, you'll feel tension in your back. You'll feel that you're a little hyperextended, or again, look sideways in a mirror. Then you're going to recorrect, pull that pelvis underneath you a little bit, go again, check, go again, check. So it's really deliberate, but this is how you're going to learn, because if you don't practice it in progressions like that, you're just going to fall back into your old habits, because again, you got so much to worry about what's going on, where you should be, where's the shooter, how's the play developing, that you're not going to have time in a game or even in practice at the start to be thinking about this. So off ice is a perfect time to practice it and practice that pattern. I'm going to quickly show you now how you can work on it from a knee down position, because that's where some of you get in trouble too, sticking your butt into the net. Let me show you what I mean. So one of the things that that goalie coaches ask me about, and pretty high-level goalie coaches ask me about, is sometimes their goalies will sit their bum back in the net when they're down in their butterfly or knee down position. And so we want to try to train them out of it. Now, you can see how if they have this real anterior pelvic tilt where their pelvis is tilted forward, it makes that even harder, because really I can't keep that position and get my bum out of the net without falling over forward. But watch as I correct my pelvis. So as I just tilt it back underneath me a little bit and get that neutral back, well, now I can get, one of the coaches says he wants the stripe on the pants to be almost upright or straight up and down. So now you can see where I'm in a good balanced position. I'm not going to tip over, and now can get my torso even that much closer to the puck, so I can close down that angle even better from this position, but also I'm in a stronger position from a perspective of my back. It's not straining as much, and also I have that clearance, that room in my hips if I need to come up and make a movement. So I hope you get an idea from that how important neutral pelvis is. Just again, think of it like you would never drive an F1 race car with the steering out of alignment, and that's what you're doing if you let your body fall in that neutral pelvis. And it's something you're not aware of. It's not something you do on purpose, but you can correct it using these skills. So if you enjoyed this video, that's awesome. If you want other ways that you can take your goalie training to the next level and your performance on the ice to the next level, just click here and I'll send you a new goalie workout. Just you have to fill in your email, tell me where to send it, and then I'll fire it off to you in the email. If you're on a mobile device, then you're going to have to click the first link in the description box below, and that'll get you the same free program. As always, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. It makes me feel good. In the comments section, you're always welcome to let me know what other videos you want to see. You want to see stretches, speed exercises, anything like that. And finally, if you're really looking to take your game to the next level, if you're serious about it, subscribe to Hockey Training TV, and I'll see you next time.